Hey guys, this is your girl Jennifer Land, the Crown Jewel, and I am back with another YouTube video. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So I want to talk to you guys about two things in regards to kingdom marriage. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about, well, first, this can be a video for people that are standing and believing for their kingdom love story, if you already know your spouse or even if you don't. So there's a portion that can be for both, and there's a portion that will only be for the believing spouses. So I want for the believing spouses, if you have already been in a relationship with your kingdom spouse and you guys are separated, it is very important that you go before the Lord and have a conversation with the Lord and ask Him the specifics behind the divine separation. And what I mean by that is there are things that happen in the relationship that led up to the divine separation. And to be honest, even if the relationship was great, obviously there still had to be a divine separation. For a long time in my mind I thought, okay, we were placed in divine separation because he did XYZ. Even if he had not did those things, you know, the divine separation was still going to have to take place. But there are certain things that happen on both ends. So a lot of spouses might be under the impression that there was a separation because of what your spouse has done. Now, this is the portion where it's a learning lesson. So, while there may have been things that your spouse may have did, the Lord is going to deal with them on those things so they can correct themselves in those areas. So, I need you guys to basically do the same thing. Whatever you may have done wrong, whatever you feel like you could have done different, now is the time to be having a conversation with the Lord about those things and seeing how you can make improvement so those issues do not come up again when it's time for you guys to come back together, if that makes sense. So, I'll give you an example. When me and my spouse were in a relationship, I had just started a business. The business was taking up a lot of my time. And he was there, he was there to help me and support me in the business. Actually, before he came, like there was a counterfeit that was there to support me through the business. And then my kingdom spouse came to support me in areas of the business as well. That's kind of weird. But anyway, the kingdom spouse was there to support me through the business. And because, this business, it was taking up so much of my time, you know, I knew that he felt some type of way because a lot of times he wanted to spend time, he wanted to do things. I could not because this business, like I said, it was taking up so much of my time. And there are times we missed out on opportunities in terms of doing things. I missed out on opportunities to travel and things like that, the opportunities that came up. And I just say all of this to say I was not perfect, he was not perfect, and it's going to be the same thing for you guys. It's going to be the same thing. So you have to take a look and say to yourself, what are some things that I could have done different? Again, we need to be working on these things right now. When the marriages come together, the order in which things should go, God, the kingdom spouse, and then kids, and then everything else. I don't have any kids. So again, God, kingdom spouse, and then everything else. And so while we were not married, my business came before everything. And that was, I don't know, that was a mistake on my part. So I have to learn to do things in a different way and really put my priorities in order. And so if you guys can relate to this, like I said, have a conversation with God, see what you can do differently, because when you come back together with your kingdom spouse, um there's going to be a conversation, and we don't want to have the type of conversation where it's put all on the kingdom spouse. Even though we're standing and we're believing, again, there are things that we have done wrong that we could have done differently. So I feel like these are all things that need to be addressed, because again, this is not all the fault is not just placed on the kingdom spouse. So these are things that, it has to be addressed if you are led to do so by God. But again, you want to have a conversation with God. And I'm sure God has shared things with you that you could have done differently. So you want to have a conversation with God, like I said, to see what he wants to do, because you are in your preparation stage right now. So this is the time to be making correction. Like I said, there were opportunities where, you know, we could have did XYZ, and like I said, I knew that made him feel some type of way, but I dismissed it because once again, I had a business to run. So so that could go, like I said before, for the believing spouses. That could also go for people that are just believing God for their kingdom love story. You may even want to look back in some of those counterfeit relationships that you've had, where the person that you were dealing with, if they said XYZ about how you may have done things, how you may have handled things, if you feel like that's been said to you by multiple people in multiple relationships, again, this is something that you want to go before the Lord, pray about, and have a conversation to see if these are areas and things that you need to work on when your kingdom spouse comes. The second thing is, and this is something that's for everyone, the second thing is making every moment count when your kingdom love story comes together, because God is going to provide you guys with some really special opportunities and things that you are going to get the experience together that you've never experienced with anyone else. And so only you know what that will be, if God has revealed that to you. But God is going to provide you guys with some really special opportunities, and it's going to be an opportunity where you guys, once again, you can experience this together. So you want to make every moment count. You're going to be living your best life with your kingdom spouse. So just think about that and prioritize the things in your life. Like I said, outside of God, your kingdom spouse should be coming first. So you definitely want to take heed to what they say, what they don't say, when they communicate their feelings to you. This is all things that you can be working on right now to make sure that you are the best and a supportive spouse that you can be. So when I talk about opportunities and special experiences, I will give you guys an example. And this was before I was with my kingdom spouse. He was trying to get with me at the time, but I wasn't really trying to hear it. I was actually I was entertaining a counterfeit that I really didn't want to be bothered with either. But it was just something to like kind of pass the time by. It's so funny when you look at these things now, because it's like I can see the growth in myself. Whereas before, it was just like, okay, I'm just filling in time for when the real person comes. I'm not interested in this person. I don't want to be bothered. So anyway, I kept pushing off the kingdom spouse. Didn't want to date him or anything like that. Well, we had never even met in person, and this man, he made reservations downtown in our city for a five-star restaurant, and it was at a restaurant like on some crazy floor, like the uh 300, the I don't even know if a restaurants or whatever go, it was like on the 30th floor or the 100th floor or something like that, something crazy, but it was a really nice restaurant. Well, I missed out on that because I didn't care anything about that. I did not want to, I wasn't interested in him. And so he made the reservations. I think I kind of halfway said, "Okay, I'll go." When that day came, I came up with an excuse why I could not go. I think I told him I was not feeling well or something like that, but I was with a counterfeit that I was trying to get rid of that day. I think I had went on a date with a counterfeit that started out being a really good friend, but he was interested in me. And so we had ended up going out on a date because he wanted to try to pursue things, and I'm like, okay, this guy has been here for me, and he's a man of faith, XYZ. Let me attempt make a very small attempt to try to get us a chance. But I just I wasn't really into him like that. But anyway, I ended up going on a date with the counterfeit, ended up going out to a dinner and to a movie. And I think I said, because he didn't want to end the night. Now, this was the same day that I was supposed to be at this five-star restaurant with the kingdom spouse at the time that I did not know was my kingdom spouse. I just wasn't interested. All these things that he was kind of approaching me with, I just was turning it down because I wasn't interested. But I ended up going out with the counterfeit. We ended up making it like a 2-day date. Nothing happened or anything. We came back to my house, hung out. He ended up spending a night. We didn't do anything. We didn't kiss or anything because I just, he was a man of faith. I was trying to get there with God, and I wasn't into him like that, but I was trying to somewhat give it a chance because, he had been there for me. My family had liked them. But I just say all of this to say, I ended up missing out on a really special opportunity with the kingdom spouse at this really nice restaurant because I wasn't open to him. I wasn't open to giving things a chance. So I just say all that just to say you are going to have the opportunity to experience some really special moments with your kingdom spouse, and don't miss out on those opportunities, guys, because we only get one life. We only get one life. I was just on Facebook today, and there was a guy that I went to high school with that he was pretty popular, even after high school, things like that, and people were just crying all over the place because he passed away. So we only get one life, and we want to live our best life possible with our kingdom spouses when they return or when they just come, for the very first time. So that's why I say all of that. I don't know. It's a nice night out in my city. So usually when it's nice out, sometimes at night, I like to take drives and listen to music in really nice neighborhoods and things like that. So this is one of those nights, and so my mind is kind of um I don't know, kind of wondering and thinking about certain things, so I had to stop and do this video. But if this makes sense, if you guys want to put it in the comments, maybe there's things that you know that you could do differently, when your kingdom spouse returns or when they come for the first time, even special moments that you may have missed out on, just anything like that, whatever you guys may want to put in the comments. So yeah, that is all, guys. This is your girl, Jennifer Lynn, the Crown Jewel, and I will talk with you guys next time.